application modeler. So this is a core component of Object Studio, or in fact, it's a core component of Blue Prism. If you click on Object Application Modeler, so this is the screen that we get. I'll just delete this. Okay, so this is where we extract or get the elements of different applications and different systems. Say for example, we have Notepad. So we need to extract the properties of Notepad elements so that we can tell the Blue Prism stages to navigate to that application, or to write something on the Notepad, or to read something from the Notepad, close it, launch it. All these actions can be executed only if Blue Prism knows on which application or on which element it needs to execute those actions. So we if I mean, obviously there are two kinds of application. One is on-premise applications which are installed locally, and the applications which are available on cloud or on web, etc. So on-premise applications the applications which are installed locally can be launched using the exe of that particular application. So I am using Notepad exe, and we can directly launch that application. So instead of this, let me start from the beginning. Okay, so the first time when you create an object and when you click the application modeler, this is the screen that appears. This is the first screen that appears. Here we give the Notepad or any application name, anything. It can be anything, say SAP, or say Shark Repellent, or whatever applications that we have, or CRD, or Excel, not Excel. Say we have Adobe Reader. So these are the application names that we can give here, and this option share the application model of another object. It means if we are trying to create a new object on the same application. For example, there are a few situations, say a pop-ups, internal pop-ups of the application. The application model of another object. Say for example, yeah, I was talking about pop-up messages, etc., etc. So those things needs to be captured in a separate object, but the parent object remains the same because that's an internal pop-up message of the same application. So in those situations, we usually use uh, application model of another object. Once you create a new object, so this is the page that comes up, and you have to click on application modeler. So you'll see this screen, and we need to give the name of the application to proceed. So let us start with Notepad. So we click next, and these are the different types of applications that the Blue Prism can deal with. We have Windows applications which are locally installed. We have Java-based applications. It can be both web-based or on-premise. Browser-based applications, which is say HTML page or Ajax, etc., and mainframe applications. So since Notepad is a Windows-based application, we will choose Windows application. So here again there are two options. One, do we have to launch the application from an executable file, or my application will be already running, I want to just attach to an existing instance. So we will see the second option in a later session. For the time being, use the first option, and we will launch the application from the executable file. So this is the path. So we can just click on browse, and then you can choose the .exe file of Notepad. Are you all doing along with me? So after selecting the file, executable file, just click on next. The command line parameters, we will look at these parameters at a later stage. It's not required for now, and it will not be required for most of the situations. And this is also not required since we have already given the path, and this working directory is not required. We will give the path to save the file of the application in the process. So here restrict to non-invasive automation techniques. So invasive in the sense we will enter into the application fundamentals and then try to get the APIs and etc. But non-invasive in the sense we will just work on the UI in the sense user interface of the application, like just how a human being accesses an application. The similar way Blue Prism also works on that application. We have different application manager modes. So 32-bit, 64-bit. So it depends on your hardware. It's nothing to do with the application or anything. So we can use default. And then click on finish. You will be seeing this page. So here you need to launch it. Once you launch, the notepad will get launched. And now we have to, in Blue Prism terminologies, we call it spying. Spying is nothing but reading the elements. So the first thing is we need to spy the whole application. How do you do that? You have two buttons here. Identify. Click on this. Okay, just add an element, say text area. Okay, now you have identify. Click on identify. If you hover your mouse pointer over the different sections of the notepad, you will see the red line highlighting the areas. And if you look at it towards your left top corner, you have the modes, different modes. Do we have to spy it using a Win32 mode? If you press Alt, it changes the mode. This is accessibility mode. This is region mode. Region mode is nothing but surface automation. We'll discuss that in a later session. For the time being, we will use Win32 mode. By default, by analyzing the application, Blue Prism will provide the modes. Here we are not seeing the HTML mode because the application is not built on HTML.